Okay, so bit of a eventful day. Ryan Scared arrived earlier than I expected, and was watching anyway. I was watching a stream by Mr. Anime, and while he was out, they were the guys he had on. Well, guy and girl were talking about how the voice actress from I think her name is Urza or Ezra or maybe it's Urza from Fairy Tail, which by the way overrated anime. If I'm being perfectly honest. Um, she said that there needs to be more empowerment of women, or we need strong female characters. And I kind of wanted to just do a video talking about that, which is does this one was a voice actress for anime, and she's voicing probably one of the strongest female characters in Fairy Tail, or one of the more top tier ones. And that's still not strong enough for her, unless of course she means character wise, in which case I would say Urza still fits the bill. I mean, she has flaws. She has shit to put up with. She has problems. Well, flaws might be going a bit far. Anyway, I mean, we've had plenty of female characters in anime who were what I would consider strong character. I guess it would depend on your personal definition of a strong female character. Now, to these idiots who bitch about anime nonstop, and I will begin on to why I think she brought this up in a minute. They probably don't think it's a strong female character unless she looks like a dyke, beats the shit out of men for no reason, hates men, and is Yas Queen Slay. Now, why I think she said this is because anime has been kind of under assault by these weirdos in the West who are hypocritical imperialists. But it's fine, they hate imperialism, but they have no problem using it on Japan in anime because it does not meet their personal bullshit taste, or doesn't progress their message. In which case, I will say fuck them, and not in the fun way. I mean, there are lots of female anime characters I like who, I'm not going to lie, I find making me want to come back to the series some more if there was more of them in it. I mean, Yoruichi is a good example. That's probably one of my favorite female characters, although that may have less to do with her character and some other areas, but anyway. Or you've got Queen Morelia and Raftalia from Rise of the Shield Hero. Those two are, yeah, I would say they are my favorite female characters in that series for differing reasons, and I like both of their characters. They are both likable people. They both have flaws. They both have a cross to bear, and both have to put up with shit. I mean, Raftalia has to put up with kind of trying to bring Naofumi back to being more heroic because he kind of snapped at the beginning of the series. And the queen has this duty to her country, and that unfortunately puts her in a position where she has to do things to her own family that she probably doesn't want to. I mean, in the anime version, she about executed her daughter and husband. Or it appeared that she was going to. But, and if not those two, you have Revi, who has loads of baggage and is strong in a certain sense in that has a certain expertise in firearms and fighting in general. Like, if there was someone I had to fight in a dogfight and you told me it was Revi, I would be like, fuck that. I will lose all my pay. Would rather take a bullet to the groin than fight that woman. That is like suicide. Actually, she's probably if you ever asked me what I would say is a strong female character in anime, or who I would say is the better of them, Revi, no contest. I would say Revi none all the way. And it's a shame we don't get more of the Black Lagoon manga because the author is apparently taking his sweet ass time. But anyway. And yeah, she has flaws. She has a short fuse, kind of like my old man. And holy hell, the things that happened to her. I said this when I was doing my first impression of Berserk, which is I find myself able to sympathize more with guys who have gone through traumatic events. Revi is the exception. I mean, when I found out what happened to her, I kind of wish there was a story where she hunted down the guys who did that to her and killed them in brutal fashion. I would have loved that. I would pay money 3 times over for that storyline. But, see, it's just bullshit. And I think this comes down to, again, you have people in the West, normies, who can't handle the fact that manga and specifically entertainment in Japan does not cater to a bunch of weirdos who obsess over race and gender on a daily basis and who are trying to destroy race and gender relations. Like I remember I think author of Dress Up Dawn said it basically wasn't her fault that people in the West are obsessed with, and I can't really say the word because if so, it would get me the Rodney King treatment. Like some black guy would probably find a way to hunt me down, and he would Rodney King me. He would do to them. Well, you get the picture. Like Japan's kind of based, is all I'm saying. And for the record, I don't like everything that comes out of Japan. There are some animes I think are boring as hell. Again, I go back to Fairy Tail. I used to like it, but then as it went on, I found the protagonist very unlikable, stubborn beyond reason, and changes his heart on the fly. It's just, this makes me want to punch him sometimes. Plus, anyway, I'm just sorry, I'm dragging on. Where was I? Oh yeah. Point is, they do not like the fact that Japan does not care to their bullshit. And this is probably, this is something that a buddy of mine, the Osteophile, I consider us friends. Anyway, Osteophile often brings this up. Like, one of the problems anime is suffering now, and one of the things that weebs need to accept is that anime and manga has gone mainstream. So the bullshit that comes towards it is par for the course. I mean, comics used to be a niche hobby, then it went mainstream, and then the normies got their hands on it, and now it's gone to hell in a handbasket. Like, holy hell, is it fucked. And I got into it way too late, unfortunately, and the stuff I liked came too late also, but anyway. The same thing is probably going to happen to Berserk, although, good luck with that. Like, there are two fan bases I think are going to give the normies a run for their money and trying to ruin it. There's Berserk and Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings more so because it has been around for generations, at least since World War II. I think it started sometime between World War I and II, so somewhere in between that period, it started being made, and it's had a fan base since then. I think I'm not well versed in the history of that, but anyway. Point is, they want to now corrupt anime the way and manga the way they have corrupted comics in the West. Problem is, some of these fuckers don't live in the West, in the East, or they don't live in Japan right now. So, good luck with that. I mean, some of these dumbasses are moving there to try to influence it, like Funimation is paid to have a seat at the table over there in the manga industry, which they're going to corrupt it eventually. It's only a matter of time. So, gatekeep long and hard for as long as possible. And yeah, that's all I can really say is just these are people who don't know what they're talking about. They lie through their teeth like the way you and I breathe. They breathe lies, basically. These are scum. They are not people as far as I'm concerned. They are animals. No, that's an insult to animals. They're just idiots. These are idiots who unfortunately get away with being idiots, and it's a shame being an idiot isn't a capital offense. And I think this is as far as I can go with it. I have no idea where else I was going with it, but yeah, this is one of the downsides of things going mainstream or catching mainstream attention is the normies find out about something and then they have to bastardize it. They have to ruin the fun stuff because we are not allowed to have nice things. Well, you know what? I say fuck that. I say fuck that and fuck them. We may not be able to gatekeep them out forever, but I say out of just pure spite to gatekeep them out for as long as possible to make it hard for them to ruin stuff. Because we've seen what happens when they get a hold of stuff. They ruined comics. They ruined Star Wars. I mean, the Star Wars thing, that one hurt more than the comic thing because Star Wars, it really breaks your heart. And I'm not a weeb. I'm not a big, I have more mangas than I do of American comics, but yeah, I do feel for the weebs. Even though I don't, and for the record, I don't like Japan that much. Like, it has issues. There are things about it that if you told me I had to live there, I would say, fuck that. I would rather fight in Vietnam. I'd rather end up getting cancer from Agent Orange like my Uncle Tom. Not my actual uncle, more like my granduncle, but still. Yeah, I have no idea where else to go from here. So, yeah, have a nice day, and remember the game was rigged from the start. And normies, go to hell.